Hey, this is Matt once again. What about in the videos? Another paid request, this time for Edward. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for 2 more episodes of South Park, Season 12, Episode 13, and then Season 13, Episode 1. Now, I will be honest, this is the first time I saw Season 12, just like it's the first time I've seen many of these episodes and seasons, thanks to Edward. That's been rectified. And Season 12 was kind of a pretty lame season, if I had to sum it up. Funny enough, this was like one of the better episodes, Episode 13, on a pretty mediocre, actually less than that, kind of meh season. There are a couple episodes that are decent, and like I said, this is one of the better ones. It's a take on the high school music. Can't even say the phrase right. There was a time where in High School Musical was a big thing for kids. There were quite a few movies going to theaters, and I try to remember when those came out. If I was working at the video store at the time, and like people were renting them, and kids were excited about them. I don't know if people even remember those now, but that was a thing. Maybe it is still a thing. I've just taken myself out of the equation for it. But this is a take on that where High School Musical 3 has come out, and the kids are singing these songs at school, and our 4 main leads are wondering what's going on. And usually these songs are led by this kid named Bryden, and they're wondering again, what's going on? They don't get it. Does Wendy, who's Stan Lights, and the girls are singing Every Kid is Special, then the guys are singing it, and then the 4 just don't get it. And then they vow never to fall into this programming. They see the film, they think it sucks. But then Stan is worried that Wendy's going to like this Bryden guy, so slowly he starts to try to get the itch to do what the other kids are doing. Now, number one, I do think the creators of South Park, they definitely know how to work with musicals. I mean, South Park the movie was a musical, and it's actually one of the better musicals out there. They know how to get songs that can be a bit catchy. They're very good at that. I think if they were not comedians or if they were not in comedy, that would be their next forte. They just have a certain hand with it that's very natural when it comes to it. And the reason this episode was decent was because, number one, when they deal with musical stuff, usually it's pretty fun to listen to. Number two, you did a bit of Bryden's life and his dad. His dad, that typical, you don't do what I say, and I don't care how you feel. But the dad is very flamboyant, and he's always trying to talk in songs. Hello, how's it going? And he's beating on people, but it's these very limp-wristed slaps. He slaps people, and they're so soft, and because they're so soft, but people act so horrified by it, it comes off as fairly funny. And I thought that was kind of a decent idea to it. That this kind of effeminate dad, oh, I will slap your face so super hard. He keeps giving these soft slaps to everybody, to the guidance counselor, to his wife, to everything in between. Sorry about that. I think it was my body being late to the party, thinking of the rest of season 12. And I did not every episode was bad, but I wish the rest of season 12 was at least as decent as this episode. With got a couple chuckles out of laughs. Yeah, mainly it's he's dealing with this Bryden guy, but it also deals with our main characters. like Stan, he tries to sing, but the only songs he knows are Happy Birthday, Gold Tail and Roadie, which that's a song that would get a bit of a resurgence with Resident Evil 7, since a version of that was in all, not just the marketing, but in the game itself. And there's another song, he can only think of 3 songs that he's used to. Again, the High School Musical motif was funny. Another entertaining bit was Cartman is gonna knock himself off, but he doesn't do it because hybrids. These hybrid cars, man, they just don't do the job anymore. That was a bit of a dark joke, but I thought that was kind of funny. And then the dad is bad, but then the kid punches him. He's like, "What's that?" And then the mom looks at the kid, creates a fist, and then punches the guy as well, and they start beating the hell out of him. And the dad's like, "No, no, please don't do that." So it was nice to see the ideas come up, and then he's upset about his kid wanting to join basketball, but then during the basketball game, there's hey, or boom, 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 boom. We will rock you. And the dad gets into that. Is still gets into his musical bones of his body. There are things that you feel like they should be built up, but then they just kind of happen. Like, for example, the kids start singing at the end, and it seems like there would have been a scene where they built up to this, but it's like Stan going, "No, we need to do something. I mean, Butters is more popular than us." And then it cuts away to some other stuff happening. And then when it cuts back, Stan and the 3 of them start singing, but everybody leaves because they didn't really care about High School Musical. They just cared about Bryden. Now, one kid says, who's like what did they call him? Oh, he had a lisp. He said the girls were into Bryden, but it makes me, well, why were the guys into it as well, singing? Either they were into Bryden, or they wanted to be cool like Bryden, or because the girls were. I don't know. I like the one of them says, "Oh, don't leave. We just got good at this." So it had some fun, some chuckles out of it that it got out of me. And like I said, for the most part, the musically inclined episodes, because Trey Parker and Matt Stone are pretty talented in that, you get some entertainment out of those bits. And then season 13, episode 1 is a pretty solid one. That's where they take a big old piss on Disney, which is, especially in today's age, very welcoming. And this is way back when. Pretty much the gist of this episode, this is Kenny has a girlfriend, and the other kids are like, "Wow, huh?" But Butters warns them that Kenny's new girlfriend is a bit of a slut. So the other kids kind of sad and solemn, and they warn Kenny that apparently she gave a BJ to a kid at TGI Fridays, and she's a slut. And Kenny gets excited. He's like, "Woohoo!" And super excited. 'Tis of all the kids, he's the one, and they've done this quite a few times before, where he's the one that knows about sex, what it is. So he has more of a tendency for that, while the other kids think it's gross. Like Cartman literally goes, "You would have a girl put his mouth on you? That's disgusting. Girls' mouths are full of germs. That mouth is the most bacterial-ridden... What was it? The most bacterial-ridden place on the planet is the mouth of an American woman." I thought that was a pretty good line. But Kenny don't care. So she tries to get him in the mood, and she wants to go see the Jonas Brothers. So it's not only a big knock on Disney, but it's a big old knock on the Jonas Brothers. And I've never been into the Jonas Brothers, but I guess they were never meant to be my cup of tea. But when they go there, the Jonas Brothers are trying to be very saintly and these purity rings, and we wear them, and you should wear them, and this means we won't ever do anything naughty until we're married and all this stuff. So because the girls and stuff like the Jonas Brothers, they get purity rings, and then Kenny has to get it. So he tells back to waiting for the bus, and the other three is like, well, how'd it go? It shows the ring. But I thought you wanted it. Yeah, no. And then the kids, well, yeah, I mean, maybe it's for the best. You're a bit too young for that. And then you see Kenny just get pissed, but I wanted to. And of course, he can't understand what he's saying. But just how pissed he's getting, mad he's getting, and then his shoulders slump and he walks away like this. And then you hear him cry. That was... it's hard to say why it's funny. It just the reaction, and older guys they could maybe relate to, getting pretty much top blocked by something as crappy as purity rings. Now the thing with the Disney is that the Jonas Brothers don't want to deal with these purity rings anymore, and the boss comes in, and the boss is Mickey Mouse. And they portray Mickey Mouse as a foul-mouthed, angry, pissed off, cussing, only caring about the bottom line, bottom dollar, saying, these rings, we sell such to girls. You better have these purity rings or Disney looks bad. Like, he's saying a lot of stuff that I'm going, you know what? This is actually pretty prevalent in today's age, where they do sell some pretty crazy stuff. And nowadays, morality, or full morality, or what's another word or phrase to look at it? Progressiveness. They sell progressiveness as a way of making money, or hopeful making money. Look how progressive we are. Now go see our movie. They use it, just like here in this episode, they're using sex as a marketing tactic to make money. Nowadays they sell progressiveness. Look what we have. This person is gay. This person is this. This person is this. Look how tolerant we are. Look how diverse we are. Now go see our movie. Now, they don't buy into that because, for example, when The Force Awakens came out, was in China. Oh, we have John Boyega, but he's back here. Or almost ready to disappear out of the poster. Because he's black. And they didn't want that for China, apparently. But Disney, instead of sticking to their guns, is like, oh, okay. So, money is what matters. So I thought it was a nice takedown of Disney. Anytime someone does a takedown of Disney, I'm for that, because they're a company that is just greedy, full of themselves, hypocritical, two-faced, up, down, and center. So it's nice to see someone like these guys take a piss out of Disney, even back then. So the three kids see that Kenny's dejected and is now being forced by his girlfriend to go watch Netflix. Which back then, Netflix was the DVDs you get in the mail. Of course, nowadays, I don't know if that joke will work for people, because Netflix is now a completely different ball game. Or watching Grey's Anatomy. I never saw Grey's Anatomy, but the show apparently thinks it's the most boring show ever, or bland show ever. Okay. So the other three kids want to confront the Jonas Brothers, and hey, you need to stop doing this. And Mickey thinks they're from DreamWorks, which I thought that was funny, because for those who don't know the story, Jeffrey Katzenberg was with Disney, went to DreamWorks, and people say that's why when he got there, there's those two competing films, A Bug's Life and Ants. So some people say that Jeffrey Katzenberg got the movie Ants going, as sort of a FU to Disney and Pixar doing A Bug's Life. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But, it's kind of a funny story. So I thought that was kind of an entertaining reference there. So Mickey thinks these three are part of another company. They're not. Threatens it with a chainsaw. The kids are able to get the mic and curtain going. All the cameras everybody see, the Mickey Mouse is full of shit. And then again, they kind of do this random bit where now he turns into a big monster and starts torching Denver. And then I guess, like a Godzilla creature, goes away to hibernate for who knows how many years. Okay. That felt very... I just like a lot of episodes. Felt very random. And probably one of the more unique ways to kill off Kenny. It's been a while since they killed off Kenny. Because they really haven't used him much at all for past season or two. He does... She asks him to go with him to go with her to TGI Fridays. He gets excited. Quickly cuts to a funeral. And apparently Kenny died of syphilis. And as Cartman says once again, it's an unsafe place to put a penis. I'm telling you. Most bacterial-ridden place on the planet is the mouth of an American woman. Definitely one of the better hard cuts in the show, where he's excited and boom, there's a funeral. Like, what? Oh, okay. Reference to what Cartman said earlier. Okay, that was a nice payoff for what Cartman said earlier. But I think, this episode worked. It was a nice starter to season 13, because some of the better episodes is when you have your four main kids at the front star of the story. Now, okay, the aside is making fun of Disney, which is always a plus. So I definitely think that's a strong episode to start your season off. It's definitely an episode that seems like people remember. Like the one with Mickey Mouse or the one with the Jonas Bros. Oh, okay, that one. Like, that seems to be a fairly popular episode, and I can see why I have to watch it. I wouldn't put it as, top 10, top 5 favorite, but it was a fun episode. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.